bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Just outside of St. Louis, there's a racetrack shaped like an egg. It's flat, it's fast, and it's going to challenge these drivers for week number 6. Live from Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway in St. Louis. Live here tonight for QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series, live on V-Speed. It's the Turn 1 Tsunamis 115 for week number 6. Hello, I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and I've been with you all season long. Hope you guys are excited here for another regular season race. And there's a look at the St. Louis Arch. It's the name Gateway. It's the gateway to the Midwest, and I gotta say, so far, so good for Bradley Wilson. We take a quick look at the official points after 5 weeks. Bradley Wilson 47 points ahead with 2 victories. That's going to help him out tremendously when we get to playoff time. You also have Quentin Stewart with a victory. Blake Giglio and Alan Dobbs all have a win this season. But the only multi-time winner this year so far is Bradley Wilson, as he'll hold on to that top spot in the points. We'll look at the schedule. Worldwide Technology. Then we go on to Echo Park Speedway, Atlanta, as it's also known as. And that will be one of those super speedway style racetracks. And then we'll go to Circuit of the Americas, COTA, for week number 8 on the Homestead. And then race 10 at New Hampshire. We got 13 races in the regular season and 20 races total, I believe is the exact number. It could be 25. We'll have to recheck and recount on that. But we've got a lot going on. And a look here at our track map. Of course, Gateway shaped a lot like Darlington, but it's kind of that hybrid between that and maybe a New Hampshire. 2 different corner styles, 2 different braking points, and a lot of opportunity to make a pass on turn 4. These drivers will be tested, saving tires. That right front going to burn off of this machine. It's going to be really easy to tear that right front off, so you're going to have to be careful. Different banking in each side of the racetrack as well. course, turns 3 and 4 a little bit more shallow at 9 degrees, 11 degrees, opened back January 1st, 1997. With that, though, it's time to take you trackside and get the grid up on your screen. Starting on the pole here tonight, trying to recover from last week, Alan Dobbs with a 33.268. He will start a 10th of a second ahead of Blake Giglio in the second position. 2 winners in the top row to start this one off. Jesse Gordon and Travis Gilbert will be in row number 2. You have Bradley Wilson. That's the leader in the points. Tay McDonald will start to his outside. Then it's Trevor Trago and Jared Ziegler starting back here in the row number 4. And rounding out your top 10 is Jason Blaney. Johnny DePasquale looking for his first win this season. Tristan Pena will start back here in the 11th position. John Fike will start in 12th. 13th spot is going to go to Brent Allen, Wyatt Walker in 14th. 15th spot, Brantley Bryantton, Kenny Frisbee, Al Likens, Tony Burleson, and we're going to keep this grid rolling on the bottom of your screen as we get set to go racing 115 miles here tonight from Gateway. Week number 4 underway for QSR Simulations Next Gen Series. And leading lap number 1, Blake Giglio takes away the lead from the 54 of Alan Dobbs. He'll take over the top spot, now side by side with Bradley Wilson, your 2-time winner. Already problems in the back of the field. The 22 of Blaney is around. Tristan Pena involved, and the caution's out on lap number 2. Look at this on our V-Speed Instant Replay. Pena's going to get to the inside here, and the 22 just gets loose on the outside all by himself. Sends it sideways across the nose of the 50. So Jason Blaney was somewhere around mid-pack there. Around 10th position. Watch it one more time from the onboard of the 50 of Pena. You're going to see there's no contact here at all. 22 is just going to get really loose, and maybe some net code there. We'll have to watch this again from our blimp camera. One more look at it here with the 22, and I want to venture to say that maybe net code was the factor here. 22 was kind of driving straight when the car went sideways. I just lost it. I don't know. Quite mysterious here on lap number 2. But what isn't mysterious is Blake Giglio has found the lead. He is finished in the podium, I believe, 5 out of the 6 weeks that we've been racing, or 4 out of the 5 weeks that we've been racing, and is now up front for this one as well. One of Goon's cars have been fast, whether it's the Fords or the Chevys. They've been up front for a lot of this season, and they seem to work really well together at the tracks that you need teammates. And I think Atlanta will be another one of those races where they'll control most of the top 10. Going back to John Walker down pit road with a black flag, maybe a meatball flag here, not entirely sure. 2 laps down now for the 84. Might be serving a penalty here. So first caution of the day, some cars getting damage repaired. Galen Wunsch down in pit road as well. 199 machine leaving that pit stall now. Last week we started out a little rough, but ended up with only 3 cautions. It race cleaned up tremendously in the second half. So maybe we get the pre-race jitters out of the way. We're doubling back up. Dobbs, your pole sitter on the outside. Giglio has the advantage on this restart to take it into turn 1. Dobbs heats up those tires to try to get the advantage on the restart. Cleaning those off. The outside a little bit more difficult to get it going. As long as Dobbs doesn't cross the start-finish line before Giglio, he's okay. Here we go for another one. Second restart. Second start of the day. After a caution on lap 2, green flag back underway as Giglio gets a big jump. Jumps up in front of the 54, and he'll take his teammate with him on this restart. Side by side back here with Tay McDonald looking to the inside of Jared Ziegler. Ziegler already up 3 positions on the move and working on the back of Travis Gilbert here off of 4. There's the 37 of Trevor Trago. Just behind Johnny DePasquale, who's also on the move, but the biggest mover so far has been Kenny Frisbee in the number 18. In 8 spots already, the 18. Definitely a fast car here for another one of these one in Coons machines. And it's a Hornets that's back here, almost 3 wide for the 18th position. Brantley Bryant off the racetrack, 52 car. Not sure what happened. Christian referee with a black flag down pit road now. Jesse Gordon having some problems, hemorrhaging some spots. This is on board with the 10. Gordon started up front in this top 10. Has fallen down 19 positions. I believe just not a good start there. And the caution's out. I think Ryan Philbrick, Nathan Line. Ryan Feel. Norman King involved as well in the 28. Second caution of the day. We didn't have a chance to talk about it. We will bring it up in just a moment. The race analysis here tonight, we'll bring that up in just a second. But here is what caused the caution. It was actually a little bit before that with the 06. They're 3 wide here coming off the corner. And the 48, the 06 comes up in front of them. And nowhere to go there for the 22. Or 38 rather, of Nathan Line. And the 28 gets the worst end of it here. Norman King destroyed. Let's go on board here with Nathan Line. He's going to see this, but doesn't lift at all. Until it's too late, drives right into the car that he's supposed to avoid. That brings a few takers down to pit road. Race analysis up on your screen. 130 laps here tonight. 45-mile-per-hour pit road speed limit. 5 tire sets available. 2 green, white checkered attempts with the stage at the end of lap 39. 100% fuel on this iRace fixed setup here today from Gateway. Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We've had 2 cautions so far, and 0 lead changes as Giglio took it over on lap 1, and he hasn't looked back since. It's Giglio and Wilson for another restart. Again, don't go anywhere. More coverage continues here on V-Speed right after this.
Rock and Rolling Custom started when my son Reese.
Back here live from Worldwide Technologies Raceway. Blake Giglio and Bradley Wilson on the front row for the 3rd start of the afternoon. Travis Gilbert, Alan Dobbs, Tay McDonald, the top 5. Let's take it on board here with the driver of the number 29. Show you this restart in live action. Decent jump there for McDonald, gets around Ziegler, clears him, goes into turn 1 and 2 with a good advantage. These drivers are using 4th gear on and off of these corners. So flat and slow through here, about 110 miles per hour. Less banking through that portion of the racetrack. But up to about 170 before they hit turn 1. Side by side, just in front of McDonald. It's Alan Dobbs and Travis Gilbert. Gilbert goes by for 3rd. Deeper in this field, Tristan Pitney trying to recover his J. He had Greenwell side by side with Jeremiah Nelson there briefly. Fred Pennington in the 40, back here in 26th position, started in 27th. So a little bit of an off day for the 40 machine. Had a decent appearance last week, but didn't quite get the finish that he wanted out of it. We got a car off the racetrack at Stormy King done for the day. Nathan Line also on pit road getting damage repaired. Ryan Field, John Walker. Christian Ruck-Regal has had some damage repaired. 1 lap down for Philbrick. Bentley Bryant, the 52, back out on the racetrack here, but 3 laps down. So the lead stretches out to over half a second. Giglio pulls away. Dylan Picklesheimer in the 9, side by side for the 15th position. Goons machine on the outside here, down the front stretch. That's the 10 of Wyatt Combs. It's actually for 16th position that the 9 has been running the inside line. Will get the advantage and go after the 85 of Wyatt Walker. So a 2-for-1 special here for the number 9. Picking up the spots, 8 gain now for Picklesheimer. car lost about 3 spots right there. 63 of Justin Clapper will go by. Take an on-board look with the driver of the number 63, and contact there with the 85. Just sneaks by, but the 10 gets moved out of line. Next up, you have the battle in front with Picklesheimer, the 10, 110, and the 9 of Picklesheimer. Jesse Gordon also in this. Quentin Stewart in 14th. Early check up there. So we'll go live telemetry with the driver of the 63. Clapper trying to find his way around the 110. Contact. Leans on the back of Gordon. Picklesheimer goes by on the inside, 99 to the high line. This is for 14th. Picklesheimer's losing it down the backstretch into the grass. And a great save, but he just lost all those positions he gained to start this thing out. Alan Dobbs back on offense. This is a battle for second now, as Dobbs makes contact with the 21, moves him up the racetrack a little bit here. Now we're going to try to pinch down. Wilson backs up the entry of the corner. Dobbs going to hold on to that spot. Try to go after the 16 of Giglio. It's up to 0.8 of a second, almost a full second here for the 16. 16 has led 21 laps. Every single one has gone to the 16 so far. Was able to get around your pole sitter, Alan Dobbs. Dobbs in recovery mode, got all the way back to around the 4th position. But now, shaving that lead away, 0.3 that lap. Battles continue back here around the 15th position. There's the 3 of Al Likens. Just behind him, Jesse Gordon, Quentin Stewart do battle for 14th. Stewart's going to end up losing a spot out of this. A little bit of damage on the front of that 110. So we ride on board with Al Likens. There's a look with the 3 car. Currently up 4 positions. They're back in 17th. You can see Austin Thomas running a little bit of a higher line. Locked in and focused for Likens. Thomas just a little bit outside that line there of where you probably want to be. Going to get a decent run off the corner, but losing a lot of ground on the inside through 1 and 2 right there. And you can see it again right there. As we try to go on board with Austin Thomas. There he is. Started in 20th. Early checkup there. I think losing the handling here on the 35 car. 5 Hour Energy falling back later in this run. Stage at lap 39. Gonna get up there to Trevor Trago and Brent Allen. We're gonna watch a pass for position here with the 35 car. Also watching a battle around 6th through 8th position. Jared Ziegler. You have John Fike in the 65. Johnny DePasquale. There's Kenny Frisbee in the 18 leading this group. As now that pass will start. It's actually going to create a situation. A check up there from the 35. Set the 3 up high. Jesse Gordon's going to try to take advantage of this. About 11 or 12 laps left here for the stage. Running out of time to catch up to the top 10. As it sits right now, Trago, the last car in there. And the lead has been shaved down now to 0.3 of a second. Alan Dobbs has caught up to the 50 with the 54 on the 16. Can he get it done? 10 laps left here. Little mistake there for Giglio out of turn 2. But still not enough for Alan Dobbs to capitalize on it. Meanwhile, Bradley Wilson's starting to reel him back in as well. He's got the lead from his 3rd position back down to under a second. And then Tay McDonald quietly running in the 4th spot. Has been for quite some time. Battle back here for 30th. Christian Ruck Regal and Brantley Bryant, 33 and 52, side by side. This is 4th position. 3 laps down for both these cars. Bryant's going to go by. Last car on the lead lap is Galen Wunsch in the 199. Heavily damaged, but trying to hold on to it here. It's about 18 seconds, about halfway around this racetrack. You can see him on the backstretch there as the leaders are just now going into turn 2. And the attack now from Dobbs, under a 10th of a second there, briefly. Can Dobbs get around him? Will Giglio hold him off for the stage victory? Top 5 have checked out from the rest of this field. But almost some contact here. 54 is getting aggressive. Gonna shoot it into turn 3. We'll peek to the inside again. Giglio's going to block a little bit. Try to keep that away. Gets a little loose off of 4. Here's the opportunity for the 54. Dobbs going to the inside into turn 1. And it looks like he might just have it here. Unless Giglio can play the high line, and it doesn't look like he can. He's going to check up and let the 54 go by. First lead change of the night goes to the 54. If you want to get technical, the lead changed on lap 1, but Blake Giglio led the lap, so we've had the same leader until this point. And now, with 5 to go in the stage, Alan Dobbs has the lead. Wilson's starting to reel him in. It's down to 0.6 between him and Giglio. Tay McDonald also catching up to this 21. Mustard Seed Racing there with the 28 machine of Norman King. We get an opportunity there, Norman. We'll try to pull you into the broadcast booth. We've got 4 laps to go to take a look at Alan Dobbs and what he's done after a rocky start, falling back out of the top 3, maybe by design, saving those tires, and is now pulled out to over 0.8 of a second. Continuing to tick these laps away for stage number 1. Dylan Picklesheimer and Austin Dowdy. Dowdy in the wall. Riding on board here with the number 8. Working on the back end of Picklesheimer. Remember, Dylan Picklesheimer lost a lot of ground. He had worked his way up to around 13th position and got loose off of the exit of turn 2 and just hemorrhaged all those positions instantaneously. As we ride on board there with Austin Dowdy, he started deeper in this field. 35th position start here and up to 23rd. Giglio falls back to 3rd. 21 of Wilson got around him. Tay McDonald also in this hunt for a top 3 for the stage. 2 to go for stage 1, week 6. If a caution falls now, we will be in a situation where the stage will end, freeze the field, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I think these drivers are going to make it back around here, and Alan Dobbs is going to take the white flag for stage 1. Major lead of over 1.5 seconds. Here he goes through 1 and 2. Just over a mile around this place. Didn't catch a lot of drivers trying to flip the stage here. And Alan Dobbs in the number 54 is going to claim it here for race number 6, stage number 1. Had the points lead briefly. Maybe he'll take it back. Alan Dobbs, stage 1 victory. Top 10 on the left-hand side of your screen with Wilson, Giglio, McDonald, Gilbert, Ziegler, Fike, Di Pasquale, Trego, and Frisbee. The top 10, all scoring points here in stage number 1. Congratulations to Alan Dobbs on claiming that. And now we will look at our first round of pit stops. Would expect everyone to take 4 tires here. And we'll just take a moment with Norman King after these rounds of pit stops. The 54 of Alan Dobbs leads him in. Wilson just behind. The advantage here for Dobbs is that he has that first pit stall. He can exit pretty cleanly. That pit limit cone there in the green is pretty close to that. So for Alan Dobbs, should have a pretty good time of hitting that accelerator and not having to worry too much about getting a speeding penalty as you see the lefts go on now. Going to drop the jack. Giglio very close on time here. 21-16 going to battle. And that was a close one. Down and away for Alan Dobbs. And now we'll pull Norman King up into the broadcast booth. Done for the night here. Not of your doing, though, Norman. It was just a worst-case scenario. You were running the inside, and suddenly a car fell into your lap.
Yeah, I actually saw the wreck from behind the 38 car tonight and saw what was happening, and I just moved low to dodge it because I saw the cars were not going to slide all the way down the track, and I just looks like when I watched the replay, the 38 just did not know what was going on in front of him and knocked, I forget who it was, right down into the front of me, and we took our whole front wheel off.
Yeah, we watched that there in a couple of different instances. Nathan Lyon just kind of drove into the car that was spun out. I believe it was I want to say it was the 52 of Bryant, but I could be wrong on that. It's heavy damage, though, on the front end of your machine. Sent it to the inside wall. And Norman, I know some of these races haven't went your way this season, but what does it take? I know a victory could lock yourself in here to the playoffs. So what track are you circling to maybe recover this season?
Right now, I don't know. It's just seems like I'm always in the wrong place at the wrong time. I feel like I make the right moves and do the right thing, and someone else's just inexperience doesn't help me.
Well, Norman, I will let you know there was a comment in the chat says that your microphone sounds like aliens have abducted you. Maybe that's why you're having problems tonight, but thank you for popping in here. Glad you're good to go and keeping a positive attitude. We'll see you next week when we go to Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you.
Norman King, driver of the number 28, done for the night, but we do have our midway break sponsored by Mustard Seed Racing. As the green flag is out, stage number 2 underway. All over the back bumper through 1 and 2. Giglio gonna give him a shot. Try to take that lead back early. Dive to the inside. And a caution is out. We have Mitchell Costner, the 77 of Chris Nail, involved as well. And these restarts, that's what happens. V-Speed instant replay. Here's the contact. Tristan Pena. Heavy hit to the outside wall for the 77. And then the aftermath. Galen Wunsch involved, and there's the 92 of Costner going around just in front of this. Back this up one more time. Riding on board with Costner. Costner able to avoid getting any serious damage, but through the grass there for the 92. And unfortunately, another caution here tonight. 4 cautions, 1 lead change, 3 cautions total if you don't count the stage. Alan Dobbs getting stage number 1 after leading about 9 laps. You see Mitchell Costner and a few others bringing it down pit road. The lights are still on the pace car, and that means it's time to take you side by side here on V-Speed. Don't go anywhere. More coverage continues of the 2025 Next Gen Series, presented by QSR Simulations. The Turn 1 Tsunamis 115. Back with more after this.
Rock and Rolling Costume started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kids?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
takes the victory, 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to our coverage. As you just saw, the 40 of Fred Pennington around, bringing out another yellow here at Gateway, and heavy contact here with Fike. Not sure what happened to John Fike, but this car destroyed as well. He's running up in the top 5. There's contact with the 18, ran into the back of him. 18 just kind of missed the braking point there. Back this up one more time. Watch here. He's all over the back end of John Fike. And right here's where it all goes wrong. .65 goes for a ride. The 40 of Pennington nowhere to go. Watch it one more time on board. The last caution there before we took our break was between the 77 and the 50. Chris Pena, kind of a similar instance there, but off the exit of turn 2. And who was that just popped an engine? That was the 77 machine that flew across there. Not really sure what happened here. This is Chris Nail. Trying to avoid Fike, and there's nowhere to go. So done for the day for Chris Nail. Was involved in that caution just before that, and now enough damage to be done for the day. Popped engine. 4 or 5 different cars off the racetrack. We've got Christian Rodrigo along with Wyatt Walker, Nathan Line. You see the 40 machine there of Fred Pennington trying to get some damage repaired. Galen Wunsch still trying to fix this car. He's been involved in a few things. Kenny Frisbee just pulled it down pit road to check that thing off and make sure that it wasn't too damaged. But now doubling back up here on lap 51 out of 130. Dallin Dobbs and Bradley Wilson back at it again. Actually, Blake Giglio leading the command car this time. Four official cautions, 2 lead changes. Stage 1 winner on the outside here for this restart. Giglio has led the most laps, though, today. This car's going to pull off now for the 5th time tonight. Off of turn 4. Here we go. Green flag up in the air. Back underway at Gateway. And the 21 gets up to second position. Alan Dobbs, we saw this earlier, falling back to fourth as the 29 of Tay McDonald goes by. A lot of side-by-side back here. Austin Thomas on the high line. 13. Brent Allen trying to go by on the inside. Side-by-side from about 5th place on back. 99 in the middle of this mess. And we've got contact in front of them. Car smoking. But they're able to hold on to it. On board with Quentin Stewart. And heavy contact. Clapper saves it. But all the way up to the outside wall for the 63. And he's going to lose a ton of positions there. Instant replay with the 63 machine. Contact from the 22, I believe. Maybe. No, comes down on the 9. 9 was to the inside. Across the nose of Dylan Picklesheimer. And back to the live shot. Kenny Frisbee involved in this one. The 18 back here in 25th. I believe. No, it was Quentin Stewart with heavy, heavy damage on the 99. Quentin Stewart looks like he's done for the day as that car crab walks down the backstretch. Look at it going into turns 1 and 2. There's contact from Pena, sends him sideways. Stewart can't save it. Ends up hitting the outside wall. But it's enough to break the QSR Simulations Toyota Camry. And that's 2 cars now. I think Pena's ran into the back of. It's a little bit too aggressive. This is definitely an iRacing caution. Like Giglio, seeing these cautions come out, loving the situation that he's in. Tay McDonald, who's on the move here, fighting with Alan Dobbs. I believe we're going to pull, if we can find him. Tay McDonald, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, how you doing?
Well, not as good as you. You're in 4th position right now. You've been fighting for that top 3, and you went back and forth with 21 and the 54 a couple times. But what is it about this place? What do you need? A little extra, something's missing here to get you to that top 3 and stay there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I need a long run there. When I passed my teammate, the 86 Travis Gilbert, I think they were about a second and a half in front of me, and I ran them down in a few laps. So I think long runs where my my specialty is. So hopefully we can get some green flags.
A green flag run would be nice here. We've got about half of this race left to go. While we have you up in the V-Speed booth, though, on camera, anybody want to shout out real quick?
Yeah, teammates John Fike, Travis Gilbert. I want to thank Tristan Painter for hopping in here, and McDonald Lawn Care, and thank you guys up in the booth.
Tay McDonald going to restart here on the outside, row number 2. Good luck.
Thank you.
Racing for freedom. And the number 29 of Tay McDonald. Getting ready for another one. Blake Giglio, the command car, choosing the outside line, has his Winnegoons Chevrolet teammate on the inside. Dobbs, McDonald, DePasquale, Ziegler. All the way back to 10th place, Jason Blaney. He's just now back into the picture. Dylan Picklesheimer, 11 positions gained. Davis Greenwell, 16 spots up to 15th. Green flag back underway. Let's see if we're done with the yellows. Not a good run off the corner there for McDonald. He's going to end up allowing Ziegler to the inside for the first time. The 29 could lose the top 5. There's Johnny DePasquale trying to take it away as well. And the caution's out again. It's Wyatt McCombs. Outside wall, heavy damage. This is contact between him and the 79 machine. This is Tony Burleson. Back this up one more time. Look at it from the blimp camera. Guys, be the judge here. 79. There's a big check up there for the 86. Vet to track machine. Not sure if Travis Gilbert checked up there on purpose, but watch off the back end. 48 Ally car in front, and then a big checkup, and that creates the situation with the 10 car. And minimal damage there for Gilbert, but it still creates a scenario, and that's a Wednesday night driver. We're at Racing Revolution out here on the racetrack. Jesse Gordon coming down pit road, as is the 29, who we just talked to a moment ago. Some of these drivers trying to flip the race. Strategy call here from McDonald to try to get those last 3 positions into the pit stall. Jesse Gordon, a few others with Philbrick, Gilbert, Wunsch, and McCombs. McCombs spun around there in that previous caution. Well, for this next restart, it's a perfect opportunity. I will go ahead and warn you now, we're going to get loud. We're going to find those volume knobs, so go ahead and get ready to do that. If you don't know where that remote control is, it might be time to find the kids. Might be buried in the couch or on that smart device. Turn it up, presented by Mustard Seed Racing. We have Blake Giglio still in the lead. And I believe the lights should go out on the pace car this time by. If they do not, we will pull a driver up into the broadcast booth. Gutsy call there from Tim McDonald and Jesse Gordon to come down, and 60 laps to go. I mean, they're going to be at the advantage if this race goes green. Lights are out this time. We will double back up, and the top 5 changes hands again with Jason Blaney now up there. $16 of Giglio has led the most laps so far as we approach that halfway point, just about 4 laps shy when we take the green. I'm going to say Giglio has a short run car, but can he hold off Alan Dobbs, who claims stage number 1? Dobbs looking to be the second multi-time winner. Bradley Wilson looking for his 3rd win. Big Blake Giglio also looking for his 2nd win of the season after Daytona. All the way back to week 1. Here we go for another restart. Let's find those volume knobs and let's crank it up. Presented by Mustard Seed Racing. And And the 50 of Tristan Pena goes around, and just like that, we have to turn it off. Crank it up is over. Caution is out. 50 car sideways off of turn 2. Look here, we were 3 wide. There's contact with the 92 of Costner. And the 29 of Tay McDonald, who had just come down pit road, gets damage from this one. Heavy left front damage. Costner able to keep it decent. There's nowhere to go for the 29. Let's watch on board with the 50 car. Part of the outside there. They were 3 wide. Pena not aware of that. And this is on board with the 29 of McDonald. He's going to have that tire advantage, but now has to get damage repaired. Just so tough to handle there off the exit of turn 2. Gonna try to get it repaired. We're gonna take a quick commercial break here. Live on V-Speed, we'll go back side by side for the turn 1 Tsunamis 115 in the QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series. Back with more on V-Speed right after this.
Walking and rolling costume started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kids?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
Is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here live from Gateway. Side-by-side battle on your screen for 8th position between Travis Gilbert, Trevor Trago. Your stage 1 winner, Alan Dobbs, back to 10th spot after bringing it down pit road that last time by. We saw some problems there with Austin Thomas, the 110 of Jesse Gordon, and also had a car sideways. I think it was Kenny Frisbee. And we'll take it back on a replay to see if we can find that. And here's a look at what happened to Frisbee. Got loose on his own. Then a moment here for Tristan Pena. Pena checks up early and brings it down to the pits. Not long after that, you have the 110 also involved here with the 35. So we'll continue this replay on. I'm not sure if there was contact between him and the 35 car of Austin Thomas. But watch right here. This will be going into turns 3 and 4. And Thomas comes down the track. 110 comes up a little bit. Thomas not happy about that situation at all. Was on the radio with him. Thomas back here in 18th position now from the top 10 back here to 18th. Travis Gilbert has Alan Dobbs. This is for 7th spot. Dobbs trying to get back to the lead, has fresher tires in a lot of this top 5 if he can get there. How about Dylan Picklesheimer up to 6th? Picklesheimer moves up the racetrack, allows the 54 to the inside. Dobbs claims the 7th spot. Gonna go to work for 6th into turn 1. Down to the inside. Ziegler in front for the top 5. Should be a pretty easy pass here with the newer tires, but look how much the 9 can hold on. We're talking about almost a 20-lap difference. Picklesheimer holding it down. Still to the outside. Into the wall. Still not able to pass him. After that clip out of turn 4, the 9 still holds on to that position. Dobbs takes a glance at it, has 6th right now. They get some draft help from Travis Gilbert. And looks to the inside of Ziegler now. Nothing there just yet. "74 laps complete. Blake Giglio still your leader. Has pulled away from Bradley Wilson. About 1/10 of a second. Jason Blaney, 8/10 back in 3rd. Blaney up 6 spots. Justin Clapper up 25 as he has a side-by-side battle in front of him with Gilbert and Picklesheimer. And Justin Clapper, 25 spots up from 34th to 9th. A fantastic day. Top 10 right now. Just around 50 to go. "55 laps left from Gateway." There's Davis Greenwell, who's up 21 positions. Back in 31st. So another big mover here in the top 10. And then it's Dylan Picklesheimer who's holding on with 15 positions gained. Going to work on Gilbert off of turn 2. Dobbs has pulled his way up to the 4th position. Got around Johnny DePasquale and Jared Ziegler both. Tire advantage working out so far for the 54. He'll be there in just a few moments' time. Last time around, he was 3, almost 4/10 faster than your leader. Another 3/10 shaved off. Dobbs will go to work on Blaney. Fastest car on the racetrack is the 54. But Johnny DePasquale not far behind him, just about a 10th off his lap times. Dobbs has to figure out a way to get around. I saw side by side there briefly with Travis Gilbert. There's Dylan Picklesheimer and Justin Clapper. Dennis Greenwell about a second back from this battle. You see the 9 take a stab to the inside again there through 3 and 4. Can't get it done. If you want to look at an actual battle on this racetrack, Trevor Trago about to go to work on the 12. Davis Greenwell, almost identical lap times last time by. Dobbs going to get a good run here off of 4. Will he take it to the inside? He will not. 22 holds his own. It's impressive with 20 lap older tires. Almost some contact getting to the outside. Hanging it up here. Dobbs tried it. Not enough. We're watching the battle for the lead with Giglio and Wilson. How many times has Wilson gotten the best of the 16 machine this season? Well, we can say it's twice. Can confirm that. Giglio leading a lot of laps in this race. He's going to come by for his 65th lap led now out of 82 complete, 81 complete. Impressive drive here from Blake Giglio so far. It's starting to put a little bit of ground on the 21 of Wilson. Well, that's what he needs to do because Alan Dobbs is going to be there shortly as he goes by to the inside for 3rd. Austin Dowdy, Austin Thomas side by side. Ziegler and Travis Gilbert also. Austin Dowdy around in the 8, and we've got a caution. The long run was just getting started. And Austin Dowdy with left front damage on lap 83. Sure if he lost this on his own. He looks like he's not got anyone around, but he pulls it off the wall. It's a back on the throttle and shoots up into the 35. And man, Philbrick, nowhere to go. Tried to avoid it there. It's right on board with Ryan Philbrick. Alan Dobbs going to bring it down pit road. Had the entire advantage earlier. He will come back out as Giglio missed the box here and gain another position. 54 beats the 16 out. And now it's Travis Gilbert who took 2 tires, winning the battle off of pit road with Dobbs, Giglio. Bradley Wilson makes a mistake in the box there. Has to back up and loses a couple positions. Brent Allen with 2 tires on the call, up into the top 5 for this next restart. It'll be less than 50 to go here from Gateway. Don't go anywhere. We have more coverage to continue live on V-Speed right after this. Welcome back to our coverage of the QSR Next Gen Cup Series. A little bit caution plagued here tonight from Gateway. Turn 1 Tsunamis 115 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and we've been treated to 9 cautions, 5 lead changes. Stage 1 Victor back up here into the top 3 and about to go to work on Travis Gilbert as we get set for another restart. Side by side, Travis Gilbert on 2 tires. Here we go for another restart from Gateway. No wheel spin. Excellent drive. Brent Allen also on 2 tires to the outside of Giglio into 1. Into the wall for the 54 of Dobbs. And the 16 of Giglio's around the big one on the backstretch. Dobbs made a mistake out of 2, and Giglio had nowhere to go. And the 3 of Likens is heavily damaged. Johnny DePasquale, the 110, the 57, all involved in this one. It all falls apart, though, with this car right here. Watch the restart. Dobbs is going to get a little loose here off of 2. Snaps it to the outside wall. Giglio nowhere to go. Ziegler runs into him. Man, just a quick chain reaction on board with the 16. Everybody fighting for position. You can see the 1 car tries to avoid it. It happens so quickly. So many cars involved. It's right on board now with the 1. Man, Clapper barely snuck through that. Watch how tight this is. Close call there for the 63 of Justin Clapper. And now going to find himself up in the 5th position for this next restart. Justin Clapper, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Got you loud and clear, buddy.
Well, Justin, rabbit's foot, horseshoe, what is it? How did you make it through that?
Pure luck, and that's kind of what it's been all night for me. I mean, starting at the tail of this thing and rolling in P5 right now is way better than the expectations I had going into tonight, so hoping to keep it that way. My my head was kind of to keep it clean all night, and it seems to be paying off. So still a long way to go.
Long way to go as we're double back up. Anybody want to shout out real quick on the backstretch?
Yeah, shout out to Mania Club and Champions of Hope Foundation. You can donate today at mcchamps.org.
Alrighty, appreciate your time, and we'll get you back down there to mid-pack.
10-4, thank you guys.
Justin Clapper in the number 63. Going to restart here on the inside of Jesse Gordon. It's been an up and down day for quite a few of these drivers, but Travis Gilbert, still your leader. The 54 of Alan Dobbs, who brought out that caution, comes down pit road to get some damage repaired. We've got half the field involved. John Vike, Chris Nail, Christian Rodrigo, Nathan Lyon, Nora King, Ryan Field, and John Walker off the racetrack. Johnny DePasquale heavily damaged. Austin Downey, Wyatt Walker, Quentin Stewart behind the wall, 26 laps down. And here we go for another restart. Green flag. Oh, contact with the leader in the 21. Hits the 86. Unbelievable, and they're wrecking again. Somehow they keep it green. 4 and 5 wide down the backstretch. Keeping the camera here in the middle with a 13. 86 sideways again. Dobbs hits him. Gilbert is getting used. Moving him out of the way. 2 tires not working right now. And a big checkup. And the caution's out. And it looks like the 86 not too happy with the 54 of Dobbs. I don't know if that was intentional, but there was a big stack up on the outside. Right here, the 54 ran into the back of him. And this looks a little malicious, I'm not going to lie. He just had to dive it to the inside, though. There's a huge stack up there. I think that was the 13. Play back one more time for the blimp camera. This was Brent Allen in 13th. Watch this checkup with the 40. 13, oh man, 86, nowhere to go. I'd like to think that Travis Gilbert wouldn't do that, but the aftermath was definitely not happy. We'll back this up to where this all went down. Back it up a little bit further. Watch this restart. 86 gets used up by the 21 into turn 1. Watch going into the corner. Not clear. He's actually came down on the 21, so that was kind of his doing. Watch on board. Watch the stack up on the outside with the 13. And this, the 54 ran into the back of him here. And that's the part that probably ticked off the driver of the 86. Right there into the back of the 86 machine. And then the very next corner. Watch this checkup. Here's the 13. They have to dive to the inside. I don't think the 86 is going to make this corner regardless. He sent it into the 54. And then that after the math. Travis Gilbert parked. Done for the day. Off the racetrack. So a lot going on this racetrack so far. With Bradley Wilson leading, Dylan Picklesheimer now up to second, Justin Clapper to third. And the 22 brought it down pit road. Blaney came in. Oh, Blaney lost some spots. I thought Blaney was on the outside there on that last restart. Maybe got checked up there with Picklesheimer. I'm not exactly sure what happened to the 22 to put him back in 9th. But we're running out of laps to settle this. Down to just over 30 to go. And it's starting to look like a short track out here. '86 of Gilbert, black flagged and out of the race. Wilson, Picklesheimer, the restart with Davis Greenwell up 28 spots, 30 gain for Clapper. This is about to get really good or really ugly. Not entirely sure, but the drivers that have dominated most of the day with Blake Giglio back in 17th. Damage on the front end of the 16. 21 of Wilson looking for his 3rd win of the season. Back underway at Gateway. 35 to go. 36. And problems in the back. Burlington's around and another big crash in the back of this field. 06 of Philbrick again. It's falling apart here from Gateway. Look at all the carnage as another wreck happens here in 3 and 4. '50 of Pena sideways in the checkup. And it's chaos behind Pena. What sent Pena sideways? He gets loose on his own. And watch everyone check up. That's where it all falls apart. Pena loses it. Galen Wunsch involved. 16 of Giglio. Through the grass for Brent Allen. 52. One of Goon's machine. Brantley Bryant has gotten back on the lead lap here. He's up to 14th. We're not seeing a long green flag run here. Longest run was about 40 laps here tonight. It was about 37, I believe. And a lot of you very passionate about this league in the chat. Trying our best up here at V-Speed to see how it's happening, what's happening on this racetrack. We've got general chat in Discord. We can't disclose, but we will say that there's a lot going on. And the race has went from bad to worse for Tay McDonald. Trying to get this car repaired, just got involved in another one. Lots of pit stops going on here with just over 30 laps left. Ryan Philbrick with a black flag. Meatball for the 06. Might have to bring it down to pit. He's going to stay out there. Doubling back up with Wilson and Picklesheimer. Clapper has maintained the top 3. We're running out of cars to race here. Staying up front and staying clean. You want to maintain a nice car, lead a lot of laps. Unfortunately for Blake Giglio, that didn't work out here tonight. And with the speed of the 16, now it is up to the 21, one of Goons of Bradley Wilson to get his 3rd win. He has Dylan Picklesheimer on the outside, a driver that caused a lot of controversy in the dual races, was on a temporary probation, has cleaned up his season, and his aggression level He has learned to channel his energy, and he's been putting himself in better and better situations here at QSR. Picklesheimer, Wilson, green flag back underway from Gateway. Just over 30 to go. A lane change back here in the back for the 16. He takes it 3 wide on Likens. And it's in the rules. I believe that restart might be an illegal one. We'll take it back here on the replay. I believe he changes lane before the start-finish line. Let's watch it closely. That's a close call. He might get away with that one, but that's close. Now up to 12th for the 16 inside of Likens. And they're sideways in front of him temporarily. As Giglio tries to find a way around, he will clear the 3 of Likens. Lee Bryant gets challenged for 7th spot. 48 of Jeremiah Nelson. Trying to go by on the inside. Tight battle for 7th right now. The car locking it up. Up ahead of this. Very close battle. Cars coming off the pit road. That's Philbrick. McKinney Frisbee, as we see another lock up there. Frisbee was back at the tail end of this field at one point in this race. He had gotten turned sideways on his own. Up to 9th now. Whoever shoots that entry a little bit there, it will allow his teammate Blake Giglio to go by. Back to the top 10 for the 16. The leader of the most laps here today on the hunt with much fresher tires. He's got just under 30 to do it. His tires will even out eventually as he really sends it into one. Lee Wilson pulls out to over half a second. Dylan Picklesheimer in 2nd position. Clapper holds on to 3rd. Great situation here for Gordon, Greenwell, and all these drivers up in the top 5 now to seal the deal. Car in the wall, that's the 48. Nelson hits the wall. We take it 3 wide with the 18 of Frisbee to the inside. And here comes Giglio, trying to make a 2 for 1. Another position gain, up to 8th now. Alan Dobbs out of the race, 26th position. Kristen Pena off the racetrack, done for the day, 8 laps down. Burlington, Downey, Dobbs, Gilbert, Deep Pasquale, Quentin Stewart, John Fike. You've got Chris Nail, Christian Rodrigo. We started with 36 cars. We have about 20 of them left here at Gateway. Fred Pennington still on the racetrack, 5 laps down. On board with the number 40. Sounds like the front splitter dragging the racetrack a lot here on the entry of 1. As we ride on board with Fred Pennington. Clapper catching up here. Starting to shave away a little bit of time on the 9. Last time by, a 10th faster. Looking like a podium day for the 63. It hasn't been since the duels that we've talked to him in the post-race. Can Justin Clapper find his way up here another time by? And he loses a 10th. .22 to go with across the stripe. Bradley Wilson's lead continues to stretch out. Picklesheimer was a little bit quicker that last time by about 0.2, but I think Wilson just controlling the tire wear, using that clean air to his advantage, and this time around he shaves off another. As Picklesheimer actually loses a 10th of a second, so he's given what he can when he can. Trevor Trago and Jared Ziegler for 11th off of turn 2. Trago will take it. Deep in this field, around 15th position, Brent Allen and Mitchell Costner will go at it. There was a stab for position from the 52 on the outside of the 48. A little loose off the corner. Able to hold on to it down the backstretch. Power move for the 52 of Bryant. They'll try to take away 9th, or 8th position rather. Hanging it on the right rear. And a send here. He'll get to the inside this time off of 2. Can he hold on to it? He's looking loose. .48 backed up the exit of that corner to let the 52 by. He's going to do a crossover move. Nicely executed there for Nelson, but the more they fight, Blake Giglio is pulled out now to a full second ahead of him, and he's going to work on Jason Blaney. Davis Greenwell in the 12. Just ahead of that, there was a stab for position from the 110 of Jesse Gordon. Clapper, 0.8 ahead. Top 3 have checked out. Bradley Wilson, 1.1 seconds ahead of this field. Dylan Picklesheimer in second spot quietly right now. This is the closest battle in the top 10 as it sits with the 16, 22, and 12. Tire advantage seems to have worn off now for Giglio. He had about 10 lap pressure tires on this run. He's able to drive in deeper, but can't get the run off the exit. We'll get to the outside of the 22. Can he do anything with that? He cannot. Make a brief touch with the wall. Giglio just cannot figure out a way around this. And the 12 of Greenwell falling back to the 110. We've got lockup here. Lots of lockup for the 12 of Greenwell. They'll create a situation for Blaney to get to the inside of Gordon. Can Blaney complete this pass? Dive to the inside now. Giglio on the outside. .16 will get by. Nicely done. Crossover from Blaney. He'll hold him off. Now side by side for fourth with Gordon. Greenwell to the bottom. Teammates here coming up. Giglio played that perfectly. Got to the outside of the 12. He'll follow Jesse Gordon through. But again, this top three has checked out for the rest of this field. Jesse Gordon will be the next one in line. You see the pass here for Blaney. Trevor Trago, Jared Ziegler. This is around 11th position. Car in the wall, the 37 tags it. That was the 10 of Wyatt McCombs just behind it. Giglio still hasn't figured out a way around from Gordon. You put Clapper in a scenario to gain one more position. He's going to try to take it. Watching on board here with the 63. Last time by. Here's the lap times, almost identical for the top three. Keep an eye on this interval. It doesn't seem to be shrinking right now. It seems to be growing every lap. Just a little bit at a time. Again, nearly identical lap times of a 30.020 for Wilson, a 34.066, and a 34.032. Seems like the top three can't chase each other down, running their best laps of the race. Jesse Gordon in the background here, who is a little bit faster, but not by much. But he's holding off Blake Giglio quite well. Giglio looks like maybe will go stagnant, recovering up to the top five. But still an opportunity with 10 to go. Back here with Jared Ziegler, still working with Kenny Frisbee. Off the back end of the 18. In 10. Lap down car in the 10 there. Wyatt McCombs 3 laps down. Just going to go by Jared Ziegler on the outside. Has a little bit of a tire advantage over these drivers in this position. He'll go by. Gets clear. Stay green. 10 sideways into the wall. Ziegler all over the back bumper of the 10. Not sure why the 57 decided to bump draft here. I don't know if the 57 was actually trying to bump draft. Let's go back and watch on board here. I think some telemetry is going to tell the story. McCombs missed the gear. He's stuck in third. He comes off the corner right here and doesn't shift up. And there's just nowhere for Ziegler to go. He thought he was going to hit the next gear, and he didn't. Bradley Wilson, 1.8 seconds ahead of Dylan Picklesheimer. 6 laps to go from Gateway. It is simmered down, but we had a lot going on. A lot of noise all over this racetrack. Race controls had to work hard in this one. Alan Dobbs, your stage 1 winner. 11 official cautions here tonight. 6 lead changes overall in this one. 5 to go, crossing the line. Again, with the identical lap times, all within 100th of a second. Clapper not gaining much. Love to get up there to Picklesheimer, but I don't think it's going to happen. As more laps tick away, Wilson and his lead expands to another 0.3 of a second. He has just been consistent over 2 seconds now. Jesse Gordon has pulled away enough, but Blake Giglio within striking distance. Car sideways, that was the 22 of Blaney. We'll get the 3 to go from Gateway. Giglio would love to have one more, as you see the 8 of Dobbs up the racetrack here. Try to keep it off the wall, let these guys by. He'll check it up down the front stretch and let them all go. But we're going to go ahead and give it out here to Justin Clapper, driver of the day. 31 positions gained. And looking like a podium finish with 3 laps left. We'll get 2 to go, and it is quieted down. Like I said, I think we're going to run this thing out to the very end. Doesn't look like we're going to have any overtime. Jared Ziegler and Kenny Frisbee went side by side there. They're going to fight hard for position. Contact there between these cars. 52 is going to use it down to the bottom. Ziegler holds on the door. They're going to send it into turn 1. A pinch here. In a door touch. Ziegler moves him up the racetrack. 52 not going to be happy. They're trying to bring out the yellow. Here we go. White flag in the air. One more time around from Gateway, and it's Bradley Wilson who has a 2.5 second lead. He has drove out into the sunset. And one of Goon's cars, dominant so far this season. And you're looking at a 3-time winner off of 3 and 4. The last time at Gateway, race number 6 is going to go to Bradley Wilson, multi-time winner, and now 3 for the playoffs. Jared Ziegler able to get around Kenny Frisbee as well. We'll take it back on an instant replay and take a look at this for the top 10. I think Ziegler making moves there on the 52. We'll back this up one more time, but watch this send here. 18 got in the back of him. They were not happy with how he got around the 52 of Brentley Bryant. Post-race interviews with your top 3. We'll talk to Bradley Wilson, Dylan Picklesheimer, and Justin Clapper in just a moment. And those final race results and our post-race coverage continue here on V-Speed. You're watching the Turn 1 Tsunamis 115 from Gateway.
Walking and rolling costume started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time, so I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
Is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to Gateway, where week number 6 has concluded in the QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series. It was a wild Tuesday night with a lot of heat on this racetrack. We've got final race results for the Turn 1 Tsunamis 115. Stage winner on your race recap, 12 cautions, 6 lead changes, and probably 4 of those cautions were because of attitude. Some drivers not happy with one another, and it continued to get worse from there. The domino effect of cautions breeding cautions, scenarios with drivers in the top 10 that could never get back there. But Alan Dobbs getting stage 1. He ends up done for the day in 26th position after Travis Gilbert and heavy contact into turn 1. We'll get a final word on that. I'm sure it'll come up in the penalty report for next week. Final results on your screen. There's your top 3 we'll get a word with in just a moment's time. But there's Clapper claiming his podium finish for this week. Jesse Gordon getting 4th position. Then it's back to Jason Blaney in 5th. Blake Giglio recovers up to the 6th position. Tried to get up there. 3/100ths of a second separated 5th and 6th position. Then you have Davis Greenwell in 7th. Jeremiah Nelson in 8th. Jared Ziegler in 9th. Lots to talk about there with that 57 as well. And Kenny Frisbee in the 18, finishing in the top 10. Brinley Bryant will fall back to 11th after coming into the last couple laps in 9th. You have Trevor Trago in 12th, Tay McDonald in 13th, Al Likens. And Tay McDonald, man, I tell you, he was up front for the first half of this race. Tough break. Al Likens, another one of those cars that was bad fast, 14th for him. Mitchell Costner, 15th. Brent Allen will finish 16th. Galen Wunsch, Austin Thomas, Ryan Philbrick, Wyatt McCombs will be 3 laps down. Now, all of these cars, 1 or more laps down from here. Fred Pennington, Wyatt Walker, Austin Dowdy. You have, Tony Burlington, Alan Dobbs there, who was up in the top of the points. It's Travis Gilbert. A lot of controversy here with the 54 and 86. Johnny DePasquale, heavily damaged. Quentin Stewart done for the day as well. John Fike, Chris Nail will come up next. Nathan Line. Then you have Christian Ruck-Regal. Some of these cars not labeling correctly here on my final timing and scoring, as they had actually pulled it behind the pit wall before those laps had completed. So some of these guys a little out of order, but you also have the 50 of Tristan Pena, who got a black flag. So there's penalties for some of these cars that are tail end of the field. And because they were out of the session, they will technically be at the tail end because they left with a black flag. You also have Travis Gilbert and John Walker at the tail end of this field. So I apologize there for some of those results in the final 5 or 6 being a little incorrect. With that, though, it's time to take you trackside and get to talk to your victor. It's the 3-time winner now, Bradley Wilson. Triple digits in 6 races. That means you have half the season in victory lane so far. And it was a phenomenal race. I know it didn't go exactly the way that you wanted it to for your teammate, but ultimately, 21 car proves again that it can survive. We have a muted mic there, Bradley.
That is on me. Yeah, this 21 team definitely knows how to fight. Doesn't matter how bad we are at a track or how little of practice we put in. We always seem to somehow be up there. Don't really get it, don't know how, but gotta shout out the 21 team for always getting us out there.
Well, and we go back to the beginning of this race. You seem like a top 3 car. You could hang with the 54 and the 16 pretty well. But once we got into maybe that past 20 laps, it seemed like you were just a 10th off. Didn't much matter, though. The 16 there has contact with Dobbs and the outside wall and that restart, and you just set sail.
Oh, yeah. Really unfortunate for Blake. I knew me and him were going to probably battle it out pretty well. But seeing that he got loose, I dove it down. I think he tried to keep it out of me. So shout out to him for that. But I really don't even know exactly what all happened. There were the fast cars around me, and then they just disappeared. So, I mean, we'll take it, but I'm curious what happened.
Now 3 victories on the season. It's your first one over here at QSR, the 3rd season of QSR Next Gen Cup Series action. And it looks like one of Goons is going to be, at least one of you guys is going to be a contender for this championship. And right now it's looking like you.
So as long as it's one of us, I don't really care if it's me or not, but just hopefully it's multiple of us. I know that 16 car is really fast. He's hard to beat week in and week out, but so is that 54, so is a lot of these guys. So it should be pretty interesting.
Well, Bradley, before we let you go, 3rd time in victory lane. There's a lot of race fans out there in this chat. Go ahead and shout out the people that put this car back on the top spot.
Gotta shout out the 21 team. Like I said, they always get us out front somehow. Gotta thank One of Goons, OG Gear, for picking us up for this season. Hopefully many more seasons to come. Gotta thank you for broadcasting this, Quentin for putting it on, everyone for showing up, my family, my girlfriend for supporting me all this time. I mean, we had a lot of yellows, but it was still fun nevertheless. So it's just really shout out to everyone.
Started in 5th position, led 42 laps, but most importantly, led the last one 3 times now. You have been there. We'll see you at Atlanta.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bradley Wilson victorious here at Gateway. Moving down the podium, we've got Dylan Picklesheimer. And Dylan, I got to say, it's kind of a contrast to how this season started. You went from a controversial dual race to being on probation and then getting caught up in everything there in week 2 where guys just didn't want to give you any room. And now it seems like a completely different Dylan out here on the racetrack. And it's starting to show with your aggression level and kind of how you've monitored your racing. Great drive tonight.
Yeah, man, I needed that P2 after Sonoma lagged out running like 7th with like 7 laps ago. And then last week it wouldn't let me load in. So I needed that P2 tonight for sure. And I didn't have nothing for that 21. So I was just riding me. I was doing me and trying to keep P2, and it worked out. So I'm happy.
You gained 21 positions and you were a top 10 car without a doubt. You spent most of the day up there once you got to that point just before the stage. But you go back to how this race started to where it ended. A lot of controversy, and I don't know if you picked up on it or not, but a lot of voice chatter, a lot of guys not happy with each other. Did you have any experience with that tonight?
Well, first off, I did some practice laps last night, and I could not get that thing to go through 1 and 2. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna run like 25th all night. But I did get in. Like, it wasn't really my fault. It was kind of like a racing deal. I got in it with 63. He kind of cleared himself going in the corner. It wasn't any X's, but he saved it. But that's the only issue I really had tonight. I was glad that we were able to finish second and third, so it worked out.
Then ultimately we go back to how this race kind of flipped on its head with the cautions there late. You run out the last 30 laps under green and pull away about half a second there. But what was it that the 21 was doing? Do you have any idea how these guys were getting around this place? He ended up pulling 2.5 seconds ahead.
I mean, he runs first or second every week, so he's just better than all of us. I mean, that's plain and simple right there. I mean, I didn't have anything for him, so maybe on a restart I might have been able to get beside him, but that was about it. So I knew my place, and I just tried to get my P2 and hold on to it, and it worked out, man.
Well, before I let you go, again, I will shout out that you have much improved there on the demeanor and the way that you've approached this. You're aggressive when you need to be, but you're also kind of giving more than taking, and it's great to see how that has translated into great finishes here at QSR. Dylan Picklesheimer, who you want to shout out before we let you go?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you, Bradley. I like going back and watching these things, man. Y'all do a good job. I'm not sure where the other guy is, if he's here or not, but thank him too. And want to thank my teammates, Fred, Al, Jeremiah, over at Slightly Dangerous. Want to thank my wife. And then I want to shout out Sam Taylor. I think he's watching. So if he's watching, Sam, get back on iRacing, brother. We miss you.
Dylan Picklesheimer, and a shout out to Wesley Outland, the other guy, as you called him. Just working things out here. I'm sure we'll have him back in the booth at some point here during the season, but we appreciate you coming up here and talking to us. And we'll see you probably tomorrow, actually.
Yep, I'll be there. We'll see you then, Bradley. Thank you, brother.
All righty. Dylan Picklesheimer, second place here at Gateway. And finally, it's time to talk to your third place finisher, Justin Clapper. We talked to him a little bit there during the mid-race, but now it's a post-race interview. We got you in the duels, but it's been a drought here. Finally able to put it all together. And I know this one means a lot because the season was starting to fall apart there in the first third.
Yeah, it was definitely getting pretty rough there. I mean, even some doubt on whether I was even going to run tonight's race, and knowing I had to suffer an EOL to start this thing, kind of down the dumps emotionally about even turning the sim on tonight. So really glad I did.
Yeah, I know that there's such a weird, how does that work, Justin? Because some nights you get on, you're running top 10 the whole race, and something happens in the last 5 laps, you get destroyed. We saw that there, I believe it was week 3, where you were up in the top 10 for most of the day, and then the race just kind of fell apart. But now you're starting at the tail end of this field. You said you didn't want to turn the sim on, and you sneak through 1, 2, 3 wrecks, you creep your way through the field. How does that work? I don't understand the luck there.
A lot of it's just relax of mind. I think it's something that a lot of these guys, I know my I rating and safety rating don't show for it, but I'm more of a league racer. I don't really run officials, and I think that shows on how tonight's race went. I'm very much more in the long distance, green flag run, calm, cool, be there at the end type of mentality, where a lot of these guys are kind of used to that, quick, maybe 70 lap race, and they're trying to go. They put fresh tires on and they feel like they need to be 3 wide, coming into 1. It's like, sometimes it's okay to just kind of file in, get in line and pick them off one at a time. And this racetrack, you have to do that, man. It's all about tire saving and being just smooth and consistent. Let everybody else make mistakes, and you find yourself in position. I mean, I almost lost it there battling with the 9 early in the race, and we both had calm minds, and you look at us P2, P3. So it's all about just when things happen, don't get pissed off and go crazy. You got to kind of cool yourself off, reset, and never quit on it, and you might have a good night.
Well, it looks like a good night for you. Podium finish here from 34th, the most spots gained. You got driver of the day as well. Justin Clapper, anybody you want to shout out while we have you in the broadcast?
Man, I know about driver of the day. That's pretty cool, man. I think that's a first for me. I'll take it. But shout out to Mania Club, Champions of Hope Foundation. Raise a lot of money for pediatric cancer research, and you can donate today at mcchamps.org. Shout out to my teammates at Big Pack Motorsports, and my awesome girlfriend who's over here playing the PlayStation and not paying attention to anything I'm doing over here. But,
not even watching V-Speed, huh? All right.
But I'll have to show some replay videos, you know.
Yeah, show that turn 1 there where you were sideways and saved it. That's a highlight.
Yeah, that'll do it. But thanks to you guys, man. Thanks to Quentin, all the guys that put this together. So, you know, kind of turned the frown upside down tonight. So, you know, look forward to the next one now.
Mania Club on the hood. Appreciate your time there, Justin Clapper. 3rd place here at Gateway. We'll see you in 1 week's time when we go to Echo Park, Atlanta.
Yes, sir. See y'all there.
So there you have it, 3rd place finisher. I know that this one means a lot to him. And like you said, it was trying to recover the season, bring it all back. Dylan Picklesheimer also in that recovery. But the guy that is dominant right now, he is hot. Bradley Wilson getting his 3rd victory here today at Gateway. It was another fantastic race. We hope you enjoyed tonight's coverage of the QSR Next Gen Cup Series. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a single race, so we have flag-to-flag coverage all season long on V-Speed. And you can catch us next week, 1 week's time. We are just 7 days away from race number 7 of the season. So we'll move on to Atlanta, a racetrack that drives like a super speedway that was built like an intermediate D-shaped oval. It's tight, it's fast, and it'll be close quarters racing. Of course, that will be on August 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Go ahead and tune in. Hit that subscribe button. You will get notifications every single time we go live. I'd like to thank all of you out there in the chat for tuning in, being a part of this. For Adam Baker, Morgan Cook, and Eddie Smith, our owners here at V-Speed, this is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Gateway. Until then, stay tracking, everybody.